guys, welcome back to another video. Fighter jets have come a long way from the early days of World War I. Even though air combat isn't as common as it used to be, the need for top-flight aircraft is needed, and the advances in technology mean several jets are capable of speeds that would have once been dismissed as science fiction. Many great planes like the Lockheed or the Stealth Bomber are retired, yet several of these lightning-fast engineering marvels remain in service today. In this video, we take a look at the fastest jets in the world. Su-35 Flanker E. We start off the list with a Russian fighter jet. Despite being one of the newer fighter jets in service, the Su-35 Flanker E had its origins in the late 1980s. The USSR's collapse put off its development, and it finally saw flight in 2014. The fact it boasts a Saturn AL engine initially developed for a rocket proves it can roar to top speeds of Mach 2.25. It's also outfitted with the best in modern weapons and radar technology, with much of it still secret from those outside of Russia. While widely exported, the best flankers are used by Russia to try and gain an edge in possible combat. MiG-23 Flogger. Despite a nickname that sounds like a 1980s video game, the MiG-23 Flogger earned a reputation as a stunning fighter. The titanium-clad R-35 turbojet pumping out 28,600 pounds of thrust was one of the most powerful of its time and pushed the Flogger to Mach 2.35 easily. It could be a tough fighter to handle, especially on landings, but the wing sweeps were amazingly adaptive and even better than some jets today. Still in limited service among exporters, the Flogger could be underrated among Soviet fighters. Su-27SK. Designed as direct competition with the Tomcat and M15, the Su-27, codenamed the Flanker, is faster than most of the Soviet planes of the time. It was primarily intended to be an escort for large bombers and thus designed for speed or maneuverability than serious armament. Ironically, its debut came just as Glasnost was about to curtail the Soviet armed forces. It's lighter and less armored than other Russian planes, meaning it doesn't see serious combat but is still used today for escort missions. And while there are recent upgrades, the Su-27SK is still one of the best last gasps of the classic USSR military. Shenyang J-11. This top Chinese fighter is an upgrade over the older MiG models they used to use. Somewhat surprisingly, the J-11 was originally powered by a British Rolls-Royce P512 engine but later swapped for a Shenyang WS-10. There was actually a controversy with Russia claiming China was copying the Su-27SK, but China insisted this was an original design. In 2014, a J-11 intercepted a P-18 Poseidon, proving the craft's capabilities as an impressive fighter jet and giving China an edge in the fighter jet game. F-15E Strike Eagle. Needing a leg up on the Soviets in the 1980s, the US helped put together the Strike Eagle, which remains one of the fastest jets in the armed forces. It's also one of the most used from Operation Desert Storm to Afghanistan and Iraq. The armament and technology are as top-notch as possible, and upgrades ensure it's always ready to fly faster than anything in the US Air Force's arsenal. A stealth variant is available, but even a regular Strike Eagle lives up to its name as a fast jet ready to attack at high speeds. MiG-31E. Say what one will about the Soviet Union, but when they built a fighter jet, they made it last. The Mikoyan MiG-31, codenamed the Foxhound, was produced in 1975 and is still expected to remain in service beyond 2030. Designed to do what the MiG-25 couldn't, be aerodynamic and handle well at low altitudes, the Foxhound also broke the mold in advanced radar and weapons tracking systems, giving it a leg up on the other Western nations. A two-seater plane, it can get close to March 3rd, and the fact it's going to keep going for at least another decade proves its amazing power as a fighter jet. MiG-25 Foxbat. While not as popular as it once was, the MiG-25 Foxbat still has limited service in Russia. That a plane last produced in 1984 still sees use today means it has to be a good one, and the Foxbat truly is. At the time of its introduction in 1964, it was the most advanced fighter jet ever seen and is still capable of some terrific speeds and performance. It was such a tightly held secret that it took Soviet pilot Viktor Bolenko defecting in one in 1976 for the US US to even realize what the Russians had. That it's still in use now proves how this was a groundbreaking fighter plane and a triumph of Soviet military engineering. Boeing X-37. The U.S. Space Force is still a branch of the military. This makes the Boeing X-37, also known as the Orbital Test Vehicle, technically the fastest U.S. military aircraft. Originally intended for use by NASA, it was shifted to the military following the Columbia disaster. The fact is, most of what the X-37 is actually used for is labeled top secret, although it's probably used for experimental purposes. Thanks to the single Aerojet engine, this thing can easily hit Mach 2.5. Well, that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching.